Good everyone, my name is Olabami Joluwashi. You are welcome to another episode on Daily Insight Podcast. I believe you have been blessed by our previous podcast. You have been blessed. Kindly share with friends, with your families, colleagues, siblings, and encourage them to subscribe to our YouTube channel, also the Telegram channel. The Telegram channel is always where we drop the audio, while the video file, though faceless for now, is on the YouTube. Then you can subscribe also to our TikTok channel. The TikTok channel is at Oluwashi Olabamiji. So what are we looking at for this morning? I'm looking at for another topic that I believe will bless you. And then if you are yet to listen to the part 1 of the series that we begin in this June, you can check our channels and access it there. They are going to shape you. They are going to put you on the path to advancement. So we are continuing that series that I started yesterday that I titled Extraordinary Life. Extraordinary life. And I said in part 1 that extraordinary life is God's original life for you. Extraordinary life is God's pattern, is God's mindset, is God's idea, is God's plan for you. God does not plan to give you a life that is a throwback of another man's life. God is not giving you a life that that is at the same level with that with animals, with any other creature. You get what I'm saying now? The life that God gives you is a superior life. Is a superior life. You must understand that you are made to live a superior life. You were made to live a superior life, but there are factors that is responsible for carrying out the assignment. There are factors responsible for the fulfillment. There are factors that is responsible for actualizing that which God has destined us for. And those factors were the things we are considering in this podcast. So this morning, I want to give you another factor that is crucial to our life, crucial to our success, and crucial to our effective living. I got what I'm saying now. So I title it The Power of Priority. The power of priority. You must first of all understand that we live in a world that is ever evolving. We live in a world that is clouded. It is a clouded world. It's a distracting world. It's a fast changing world. So there are many interference. There are many things clamoring for our attention. There are many things looking for our time, clamoring for our time, clamoring for our energy. There are things around us, that is just feeding on our time, our energy, and our resources. And if we don't pay attention to those things, we don't pay attention to them and fight, contend, and win them so that we can be at the top of the game, we are going to find a lot of missing link in our life. I got what I'm saying now. So the wisdom of time is priority. The wisdom of time is priority. And what do I mean by this? Until you are able to prioritize the priority in your life, you will not be able to achieve much in this life. Because great men and successful men, they have the discipline of prioritizing what it is a priority in their life. You must be able to prioritize the priorities in your life. How do you structure your life? There's something called scale of preference in economics. It's ability to structure a thing, ability to itemize a thing according to their importance, according to their value. So if you are not able to itemize your life, you are not able to structure your life to the end that is portray the most important thing to you, and then other things, you are not going to get anything done. You are going to discover that the internet is going to be feeding on your time. The people's opinion are going to be feeding on your time. And once anything is feeding on your time, believe me, you will not be able to maximize time. And once anyone is not able to maximize time, they cannot become anything, because all that God has given to you is time. There are 5 gifts that God gave every man. The first is the gift of life. The second is the gift of time. The third is what I call talent. The fourth is the brain. And the 5 is the gift of salvation. I got what I'm saying now. So God gives you time, and time is given for actualizing purpose. But you cannot actualize purpose when you don't itemize your life according to priority. So let me ask you this morning, that what is the first thing in your life? What is the first most important? When you wake up in the morning, what do you do first? What is the first thing in your life? Is it your spiritual life? Is it your academics? Is it your family? Is it your business? Is it your career? Is it your ambition? Is it games? Is it betting? What is the most important thing in your life? How do you, what are the things that is predominant in your life, in your time, in your day-to-day activities? Because your life will always go in the direction of your predominant thoughts that leads to what? That leads to consciousness of action on daily basis. So what you do every day are the things that forges your future. Your future is not just a place you are going to be haphazardly in the next 10 years. You are not just going to be there. I get what I'm saying now. It is a place that can only be, experienced when you prepare for it today. It's a place that can only be experienced when you prepare for it. And if you don't know how to maximize time, if you don't become a person that is maximizing time, if you don't become a person that is, that is walking in the wisdom of time, you will not be able to achieve that future. The future that you imagine is possible, but it's waiting for a version of you. I get what I'm saying now. It's waiting for a kind of version of you. So what is the first thing in your life? How do you structure your life? And let me give you insight to how you can itemize your life, how you can structure your life, how you can arrange your life to an extent that you are having a beautiful day, you're having a beautiful experience, leveraging the gifts of time that God has given unto you. Number one is that you must first of all understand that there are things in your life that are major and there are things in your life that are minors. I get what I'm saying now. You must first of all understand that your life is categorized into these two things. There are major things in your life and there are minor things in your life. The major things in your life, they should be the one that is sequentially arranged, and find out how you can excel in those areas. Now, let me give you an example. When I'm talking about priority, what priority is to a student is not what priority is to a pastor. What a priority is to a businessman is not what a priority is to a content creator. What a priority means to a doctor is not what priority means to an agriculture. So who we are or what we are doing or our career path, they have roles to play in itemizing our life. For example now, the most important thing for students is academics. At the top of his game, at the top of his, of his structure, of his life is academics. Because he has to, that is the essence, that is the reason why he's in school. That is the reason why he's paying school fees. That is the reason why he finds himself in that campus. No story. I get what I'm saying. So that the most important thing to students is reading, coming out with good grades. So when the student now go to school and he have a shift, maybe he's now engaging in other things apart from excelling in his academics, that is the loss of priority and is going to eventually lead to failure. Likewise, a businessman. What is the priority of a businessman? His ability to think how to expand his business, ability to think structurally, ability to think in leadership, ability to think intuitively, ability to think analytically, ability to think creatively, so that it can provide more satisfaction for his customers, so that it can advance the cause of that business. That is the whole idea of a priority. And for a pastor, his priority is prayers, the word of God, leadership, management, administration, and all those things. Life, until you itemize life, you can never be extraordinary. Until your life is itemized in a way that is giving you the glimpse that the future is certain, you cannot be extraordinary. I get what I'm saying. So I have discovered this principle in extraordinary people, that they are people of priority. You can't just bunch into their time anyhow. You can't just feed on their time. You can't just feed on their energy anyhow. You can't just bump into them. They don't do what they don't plan for. They don't carry out a spending they don't plan. Their life is itemized. Their life is structured. Their life is systematized. If you don't learn how to systematize life, how to itemize life, how to structure life, you are going to live a defeated life, because you are going to be finding the people you are older than doing great things by simple discipline that is affordable to you. And it's going to become a burden, it's going to become pride, it's going to become anger. And then you are going to be pitying yourself, because that is what I have seen in the world. When people take a lot of time to, to gist, to joke, by the time they want to get ready, time has gone. And Africa has the mentality, when others are doing great things, innovating, creating something, we will be sleeping. And it is by the time we awake that we now think in our mind that we are going to catch up with them. It doesn't work that way. This is a world of men. You can't expect somebody that has been running consistently while you are sleeping, and by the time you now awake, you want to outrun that person. How is that possible? Does it even make sense? So it is time to itemize your life. How do you structure your life? What is the most important thing for you now? The first that must be at the top of the list is God. The first for everybody, the first that must be at the top of the list is God, your spiritual life, your connection with God, because that is where you get insight, that is where you get wisdom, that is where you get idea, that is where you get innovating skills, that is where you get understanding. The Bible said good understanding brings favor. Do you know what that means? What it means is that for everything or for anything you understand, the reward for understanding that thing is favor. The reward of understanding is favor. The reward of understanding is favor. When you understand something, the proof of understanding is favor. So when you understand business, you are going to experience what I call business favor. When you understand marriage, you are going to experience marital fulfillment. When you understand finance, you are going to have consistent financial flow. When you understand spiritual pattern, you are going to experience inflow of spiritual virtues. If you understand relationship, you are going to find leverages. If you understand social capitals, you are going to find a lot of benefits. When you understand how the world works, things are going to be falling in place for you. So the reward of understanding is favor, and you cannot have this understanding if you are not connected with your source, if you are not connected with God. The Bible says there is a spirit in man, and the breath of God giveth understanding. So you cannot walk in understanding if you are not perpetually under the dew of God. If you are not consistently under the dew of the Almighty, so that it can breathe upon you, that understanding can come upon you. There's an understanding you need to navigate your business. There's an understanding you need to prosecute your life. There's an understanding you need to start that business. There's an understanding you need to start that ministry. There's an understanding you need to start that career. There's an understanding you need to excel in that career. And once you are able to track that understanding, what you mean by understanding is give you a superior perspective. When you have an understanding of a thing, you don't struggle with that thing. The proof that understanding is lacking is struggles. When you struggle to get a thing done, you are lacking a perspective about that. You are lacking an idea. But most of the times, we leverage on our brain too much. While your brain is very powerful, but there's a superior consciousness over there that you can tap into. There's a superior wisdom you can tap into. And then by tapping into, you have seen people make tremendous results in our world. It is because they are tapping into higher levels of consciousness, higher level of understanding, and they are executing those things upon the face of the earth. And then they are experiencing favor. You want to experience favor? You want to experience favor? You want to experience people's investment? You have to contend for understanding, and you cannot do this if your life is not itemized. You cannot put God at the bottom of the pyramid. You cannot put God at the middle of your time and expect to be working in understanding. Insight is for people that prioritize God. Insight, understanding, wisdom is for people that prioritize God. If you don't prioritize God and prioritize other things, you are going to be navigating that thing all by yourself, and there's a limit to man's energy. There's a limit to man's logic. There's a limit to everything God has given. God is the one that gave you, and He knows your limit. You may not know, but God knows your limit. A time is coming, you are going to hit that limit, and when you hit that limit, your greatness is going to end there. But when you tap into higher consciousness, higher understanding, you are going to surpass expectation. Thank you for joining us this morning. I believe you have been blessed. Itemize your life, structure your life. This is the pathway to extraordinary life. Thank you, and God bless you.